friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Hilary and today we will be continuing my vlogs. So the start of this week hasn't been great. I haven't read anything. So the Peloton ended on Sunday and today is Thursday the 17th and I haven't touched any books basically. I did also additionally, after having a little bit burnout from last week of reading that much and the previous week of reading a lot, also my work has been a little bit hectic. I was participating in some of the conferences and they took a little bit more time out of my life than my regular work week, so hopefully I can now continue reading some books. Why I am bundled up is because honestly it is a little bit chilly in the apartment, plus the outside weather is horrible. It's windy, it's icy and it's also raining. So yeah, the best is to cozy up with a blanket and tea and just enjoy life. I will be probably staying half the day at least under this blanket because I do have to work on some course materials, so it's a nice way to just sit on couch and type. So on the reading aspects, I did actually start with my next book yesterday, that is The Bad Blood of the Silicon Valley Startup something something by John Carreyrou, and I listened to it only like half an hour, not a lot, but I did quite enjoy it, at least the beginning. This is about the Silicon Valley startup that deals with medical devices, more precisely on blood analysis, making it much more simpler and easier and faster. So basically the idea behind that, as far as I understood, was you put a drop of blood on a plate or a plate, put it in the machine analyzes it and sends all the results quite fast to your computer. But the problem was that the whole thing, as far as I know, didn't work. I think that's the whole premise. My cats have zombies. So I'm quite liking it. The field is a little bit known to me since I am in the field of biology, life science and everything else, and I'm quite interested in that. I do have already questions, but I'll keep that in the review part of the book review thingy that I'm gonna do for this book, so I won't be going too much into it. It does give me a little bit of chaotic vibes that I quite enjoy in non-fictions, although I haven't read that much non-fiction, so who knows. And by chaotic energy I mean just complete chaosness, that is everything and people and everything happening. I think a perfect example of that is the trial of Chicago's 7th court transcripts that I read or listened last year. I first watched the movie, which was just insane, and then listening to the audiobook, what was on another level of insane. And by chaotic energy I mean that I didn't understand everything, but I was so on board for the ride. So what I didn't understand everything was a lot of references in American culture and people, and also the court dealings, what are the legal procedures that were ignored and everything else. But I got the general gist of it and I quite very much enjoyed it. I think it is one of my top one non-fictions, although we'll see if it still be there after reading maybe more non-fictions, because I haven't read a lot of them, barely any. But going back to the book I'm right now reading, I'm gonna just tell you straight away, I'll probably mix up some people and not remember everybody because I'm guessing there will be a lot of people in there. But I'm just gonna go with it, especially me listening to it on audiobook, because I will not be paying 100% attention to it. My mind sometimes wanders, but I think it's gonna be okay. I still have to read 2 more books for this month. One is the 3rd book of the Lycanius trilogy. It's over 800 pages and I think I'm gonna manage to read that with no problems. Especially I'm really excited and also a little bit scared of that book. And there will be a review of the whole trilogy, just me going over what I loved about it, how other people will like it and so on. And then I have the 2nd book of the Poppy War, the Dragon Republic, to read, and I think that is over 600 pages. 600 sounds more like it. I'm not sure that I will manage to finish it this month, but if it goes into March, it's gonna be okay. My And we'll see if I'll read the third book in March or we'll push it to the beginning of April. That's about it, I think. I'll come back when I have read more or most of the Bad Blood, and then hopefully I can start tomorrow's with the Genius trilogy. I'm really, really excited about that. But yeah, I'll see you soon. So today is Saturday, whatever the date is, 19th apparently. Have I read anything? Barely. So I am a little bit under 50% in the Bad Blood, and I will go more into depth about that book in my theme reading vlog for that / review. But in general, I'm really enjoying, and I'll just give a brief overview when I'm finished with that. And I also got my FairyLoot January box finally. What I do have to say about that, I think it's not their strongest box. However, the book is absolutely gorgeous. And for the it doesn't have any of the underdust jacket art, but I really love the end papers to be more special, or just like these designs in just in a card or art print version way. So that way, if I really like it, I can put it on my wall or on my shelves or somewhere. It's much more useful when than just putting a weird thing that doesn't like fit very well with here. Especially if it's not designed to be reversible in specifically, for example, here being something specific, not just a tiny snippet of picture. And what I do have to say about this book is that it is on my reading list before it was on FairyLoot box that I knew of. So I'm really excited to read this. What this is about, I honestly can't remember, but I think it should be something really grey or dark characters, at least as far as I can see from this. So I can't abandon my TBR for this book, but we'll see. I'll just now give a couple of brief mentions how I liked the box. I did think that puzzle is nice thing. I'm not mad about it being here. I'm not really happy about that. For the Cassandra Clare trinket dish, I personally like it, everything except this grey picture. I don't think it goes very well here. Like, it just feels tiny bit like bad design or something. It doesn't go very well there. For the bookmark, I think they've done better. It's okay, nothing good, nothing too bad. And for the tea towel, it's really, how to say, it's not vibrant and very well. It looks like it's really like truly used and it's already fading. And I don't know if it was meant to be that way or I got a weird version, but I should probably maybe check because the material is okay for a tea towel, but just the design isn't the best. But I'll probably take it to my kitchen and use it. Today is a lot of reading sprints, so I'll probably maybe listen to Bad Blood more, and then hopefully can start finally the Lycanus trilogy. So I'm pretty sure I won't manage to read Dragon Republic this month, but I can throw it next month, and the last book I can throw it in the April or somewhere there. And tomorrow I will be going to my family countryside and maybe go to sauna and just chill around with my family. Hi, so I don't think I have been here for a couple of days. Today is 23rd of February. I did finish on Monday the Bad Blood of the non-fiction that I was listening to audiobook, and I really loved it. Basically, we didn't have electricity on Monday for 3 hours, so I just binge listened to the audiobook. And as I said before, I really love it. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. I didn't give it fully 5 stars because I think at the later half of the book, the science side got a little bit complicated for your average reader. At the beginning, it really well said everything through, like explaining what each of the processes meant, and it wasn't going very in depth. But in the later half, it went. So for the readability aspect, I did take it a little bit down. But honestly, that whole event of things was blowing my mind. How people can be so dumb. And then I have been slowly reading The Light of All That Falls by James Islington. I am 200 pages in, and I have tabbed a lot. And in the third book, I actually, keeping my second book here, I have already went to the second book twice to read a couple of bigger events. One was about what happened at the end of the book. I just wanted to reread it again, see the details because I had questions or ideas. And another one was here, I think, in the middle of where was, I think, one of my biggest what just happened. And for this, we got more details in the beginning of the third book. And then I needed to reread it because I thought things were a little bit different there because I didn't have all the information. I don't think I still have all the information, but I am really, really enjoying, and I'm a little bit scared to finish this book, but it's a chunker. But I really love it, and definitely, if you have time, please read them. They are masterful. They're really, really good, really complex and interesting. What was also weird, or what I wasn't expecting, was that in the first book we get the general layout of everything and a lot of characters. The second book is basically giving us all the backstory about Caden and all the events that have happened. And my idea was that last book is like mainly in the present, and we have gotten most of the backstory and everything else. But no, we haven't. Not at all. We're getting so much more backstories, details, plans that have been in the making for thousands of years, and we're seeing how it all comes together and everything, and I'm just so much loving it. And whatever this author will put out next, I will definitely read it without any hesitation. I know that he wants at some point to continue this series with other sets of characters or something else, but in the same world. And honestly, yes, please, I have so many questions already about the whole world. There's so many different species. For example, I want to know more, especially about the ancient times, like millennia ago or more. So I am really, really interested in whatever he puts out. I think it's gonna be one of my favorite epic high fantasies, and I do like that it is in a condensed version, so it's not very hard to get through the book. There is a lot of information and events and places and everything else, so it has a lot of information and situations and everything else, but it doesn't drag, for example, compared to, I think, some of the Brandon Sanderson books or Wheel of Time. So they have a bigger time scale. They aren't as condensed, so it will be, I think, a little bit slower paced. But yeah, and also surprisingly, one of the main characters, Davian, in the first book, I figured him as like a person that didn't have a lot of experience in the world, and he is young, and he didn't have a very good moral compass. Whether he thought, oh, okay, let's do this, whether it's good or bad, he didn't think through. He had just like a childlike quality of not thinking things through. In the second book, honestly, I don't think we got a lot of Davian. We concentrated more on Caden and Caden's past, and there was a lot of events with Asha and Vir and other people, and if there was Davian, he was usually with other people, and there were some events, but we didn't get a lot of him, you know. And in the third book, he has a really surprising and witty character, and I'm enjoying him surprisingly more. And you can say that that personality like came maybe out of nowhere, but I think there are legit reasons behind that why he is, and I don't want to go into spoilers, but in my opinion, there is legit reasons why he became such an interesting personality and character. I just love all of this. There's a lot of less actions and more talking through in the book too, and more of philosophing and everything else, and I just purely love that. I just love this. But I was also talking about the one big minus of this book is the fucking map. The map is the most unuseful thing in this book. Honestly, like the map is of the present time of one continent. We do know that there's another continent somewhere else that should be basically destroyed by present time. So I understand why there isn't a map of that. But a lot of all the, I think a lot of book 2 situations were in the Shining Lands in the past. And also there's so many references to old towns where situations are taking place. And honestly, I have no idea where they are. And I want to know. because honestly, in the present time, they barely move around. I think the most they moved around was book 1. So yes, in there the present time map was beneficiary, but honestly not anymore. They barely move around. I want all the rest of the maps of previous times, where the cities are uh, placed. Because I have a question. For example, we were in the past and it was describing a town that the builders built, and in the present we have a couple of the cities that have some where like some of the old builders' towns, and I'm like, is this the same town or is it something else? What is going on? Where is this taking place? I want to know. And we don't get that. So as I said before, I had so many questions. I do know that he is supposed to do something else in this world, but I think I should check out what he's writing right now. It should be something else, and I definitely want to buy it right now. There will be a review of all the 3 books and what I liked and everything else, and I think I'm gonna give most of it again spoiler free, just maybe very light spoilers in the general themes or very vague mentions of different situations that happen or something like that. So life is not good. However, what I didn't figure out was that I don't have any more work days today. I do have a couple of work things to do throughout the week, but I don't have any more work days because 24th of February, the Thursday, is our Independence Day, and that is a public holiday for most people. The previous day to that, the 23rd, today is a half day, but since I will be working throughout the week for a couple of small things, I'm taking today mostly off. I do have one meeting today at 10 o'clock, so I do have to do that. And then university also gave us Friday off, so I just worked 2 days, Monday and Tuesday this week, and I have the rest free, and I can read a lot. I do want to spend more time with my husband also, so but I think I can get a decent amount of reading in. On Saturday also we're going to our friends and watching Lord of the Rings, the second movie. We are binging all of them, but not binging it, but just watching all the Lord of the Rings movies, the extended editions together. We watched one during the winter holidays, and then now second one, and then go on from that. So that's really exciting. But yeah, I think that's about for it. I went quite a long rant about these things. But yeah, I'll come back when I have read more of the Like to Fall and Falls, and maybe I have a general idea what else I'm gonna read this week, or I just am going to see what happens. There are a couple of the, as I said, the themed reading blog, but I also want to read Only a Monster that I just got from FairyLoot, and I should read a couple of other FairyLoot Illuminate books or other books that I have bought that I can say a little bit more about when I'm doing my winter haul in March. So that's not going that well also, but we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna see what I want to read and what's happening. And if I don't manage to read everything in March, oh well, I'll survive, I think. But yeah, I'll see you soon. So I haven't been here for a little while. Today is 26th of February, and I think I last filmed on the 23rd, so as you know, everything went to shit after that. So I didn't put or film any in the couple of days because honestly I haven't felt the best. I am anxious. So concerning everything in Ukraine, I think it's horrible, and I really wish them all the best of luck in beating the Russian forces. Me being from the former Soviet Union, well, I haven't been under them technically for like 4 months that I was born, but I know our country's history, and I know what they are capable of, and honestly, it's not the best feeling. Of course, we are all afraid what Russia might do next, and hopefully they will get beaten and they don't get new ideas about invading to other countries. So I haven't felt the best to film. Anxious levels really nice, but I do have read a little bit. I am 500 pages into the Light of All That Falls. As you can see, I really enjoy it. In this book, around here, that I read yesterday, we had a really brutal battle scene. Let me see. That was affecting me a lot because of the situation, me being anxious, and there was a sentence: nobody could have woken that morning and anticipated this nightmare. And honestly, I feel the same. So I did spend 24th, the Independence Day of Estonia, with my family. We were following the news and also spending just some family time. I'm sorry if I'm bouncing around different subjects. And otherwise, I have been just home reading, checking the news every 5 minutes. But yeah, I really love this series and this book. And I have honestly no idea how they are going to pull it all together in the last 300 pages. Additionally, I also read Only a Monster by Vanessa Len, and this is the beautiful FairyLoot version. And when I was unboxing my FairyLoot, I thought that this bookmark was just about, I don't know, a mermaid retelling or something. But this is one of the characters in this book, Aaron, and honestly, it doesn't, especially if it's in the same box, I would have preferred this to see in a more darker themes and make these two fit together, you know, cohesive. It doesn't have to be the same like design style, but maybe some colors like darker themes or something like that. And with this book, it was before even I knew it was in the FairyLoot box. It was on my TCS reading list. I was really excited about because the premise is really good. We have a girl that is spending time with her grandmother. She likes a boy, Nick, that turns out to be a hunter of the monsters, and she finds out that she is a monster. And there's also a boy, Aaron, mentioned that he's another monster, and they say, wait, does it have it here? In the Goodreads, there's definitely mentioned like how Aaron is ruthless and conniving, and it sounded so interesting. But honestly, it is, the idea behind it is really good. I think the execution wasn't the best. First of all, this is 359 pages. But honestly, it felt more in the plot-wise and everything else. It felt like 200 to 150 pages. If you take in comparison, for example, She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Barker-Shan, that is about 400 pages, and it was full of plot and backstabbing and everything else. And if you ask why I'm mentioning it, is in the acknowledgement. She says that. And also thank you for Shelley Barker-Shan. I'm so happy that we're on this journey together. Who would have thought that we really could make our dreams come true? And if I remember correctly, I think she and a couple of more authors, their friends, or somehow they sat behind the table generating ideas, and most of those people that were behind that have actually published their books. So maybe, as I said before, they were at the same table, I'm not sure. But does mention that. And like if you compare this to She Who Became the Sun, then they're completely different. Like even in the like general how much is here. And I think what other people also some agreed was that the plot wasn't good enough. It's very like thin plot going through that we could have gone so much more into the depth alongside with the characters, the situations, everything else. A lot of situations are just brushed through. We're just going and something happens, but it isn't like written long enough. That's what I'm saying, that it feels really short book. In a way, this is part of the trilogy, and in a way, this first book, it does make a complete story arc. So not sure about what happens in the book 2. I think the best I actually liked of this book that was really well written was the epilogue. It's just shy away from everything. It didn't give us enough, and it is 350 pages. It could have, like, if you changed up the format, it would be a shorter book, and then I think I would have forgave it a little bit more, since it is like, I don't know, 250 pages, because there isn't anything here. Or if that 350 would be filled, for example, if I take a smut book, paranormal smut book, I can name many that have about 350 pages, and they have more plot in them. Definitely, for example, Hook, that I read previously, can't remember, Emily McIntyre, maybe, can't remember who the author was. Like, it had so much plot plus the smut. So as I said before, I'm gonna see what the other two books are about. Definitely I'm gonna keep an interest out on this author, but definitely not the 5-star prediction that I was hoping for. You know how yesterday I wasn't certain if or when I'm gonna finish this book. Yeah, I finished it yesterday. I read yesterday 300 pages. My plan was to read, so I would have 100 or 150 pages left. But honestly, the ending, so many things happened, and I just couldn't not finish it. I did, by accident, spoil myself one of twists at the end. I was trying to find why one character owed another a debt, and by doing that I spoiled myself a little bit, but still. And honestly, the ending, so we have everything that happens in the present, and then we have an epilogue, and honestly the epilogue was so emotional. I cried a lot. I also cried a little bit before the end. I really love Tal Kamar and Caden, and there were also so many good quotes in this book, especially at the end. I just loved how well it was written technically, and making sure that most of the plot twists and details and connections and everything else worked well together. I do want to see what he writes next, and I'm gonna pick it up without any hesitation. I do hope something new comes out soon, because I'm excited for him. Although, seeing what he has done for this, I'm not certain it's gonna be sure. I do want to go over his social media and see if he has any information about that. Also, at the end, also he mentions that there were two characters that were mentioned quite a lot in the book 2, and then in the book 3 they kind of disappeared, and then we see them at the end of the book. And he thought that adding those characters and what they were doing into this book, because it's already a chunker, would be too much and would disrupt the flow of everything. So he does plan to write their story at some point, like a novella, like 3/4 of that size or something like that, novella or something like that. But yeah, so I do want to see that, because I am excited about Soul World. Also, if he would write anything from the past in the Shining Lands, everything else, I would be so excited to read about. I'm still so questioning about the past, and also what countries were when, what happened, what is going on, everything about that. I really want to know. I do want to go actually reread the whole series to see how everything was plotted out, because it was like masterfully done. Like all the twists and everything and little details that connect at some point, and such a beautiful. So, but for now, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I still have today left, but maybe I'm just gonna like digest this one and then spend the night with my husband. Maybe I am starting with the books that are on my themed reading vlog. I'm not certain right now, but I think that's it for my February vlog. Uh, I'm pretty sure the next one, a big series that I am trying to finish is the Poppy War, and for some reason I don't think I will get the same hype as this one because this is just masterful. We'll see, because I already know some people don't like the second or the third book of the Poppy War that much. We'll see. But yeah, I do have to actually edit and upload my March TBR also. And I have no idea what I'm doing with my TBRs and everything else. I do want to change things up, so I do want to take a little bit of time and think things through how I am doing or what I'm doing with my booktube channel, change some of things. Maybe I'll put the schedule a little bit more on the spread out side. Right now the video should be going up on every third day, but maybe I'm putting it on every fourth day. That gives me time, and if I have good ideas or something else, I can just put them somewhere in between or something like that. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I have some ideas for my spring goals and what I'm doing with my channel and everything else, but I think that's about it. I do hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you for watching, and bye!